live and we're facing the wrong way. Word. Alright, there it be. Let's do some transfers, people. Today we're going to be doing some plug spawn transfer. And I'm going to review some blobs that we did yesterday on live stream. Yesterday we moved these blobs into new beds, and you can see how much they have moved just since yesterday. Bring that closer so everybody can see. You can see that it's actually moved off the wedge and all the way up the plate now. Now we're still going to wait another day before removing those old wedges with the food on them. But what we are going to do is we're going to entice it to come over to the other side of the plate a little bit more by offering it some more food, some more fresh food over on this side of the plate. So first things first, we're going to get some good enough. Now these things grow so fast, you don't need to be sterile with them, man, especially the polycephala. Now the Luna here is a little bit more finicky, and we're going to take a little bit more care in working with Luna. Yeah, because it is a lot slower growing. So we're going to take a little bit more care in working with her. Put some gloves on, walk up my hand, walk hold her hands, and we'll be more strategic about how we place these oats. Wow. How we place these oats now. Looking for my favorite tweezers. Here they are. My favorite tweezers. I like the little curve on them. Video. You can see it's actually growing really well. Alright, so now we're going to try to put the food just around the edge of it. And that's because it grows rather slow, so we want it to be kind of in contact with the food so it finds it quickly. So we're going to put the food right around the edge, and I'll show you guys in a minute, its growth pattern. And some of it's already growing. There we go. And you can see this is what I've done here. You can see where it's where the growth pattern is ending there, and that's I'm just putting those along the edge of the growth pattern. So it's actually in contact with the slime mold, and it finds it relatively quickly. It doesn't have to go out searching for it. If you have a piece of oatmeal that sits on the plate too long, it will mold and grow fungus and grow other things on the plate, which the slime mold will probably eventually take over. But there are some aggressive fungus out there, and this is not a fast-growing slime mold, so it all comes down to competitive rate with these organisms. And when you're doing isolations like this, when you're growing one organism, if you end up with 2 or 3 on a plate, you can definitely run the risk of having an organism that can outgrow what you're trying to target organism is. So there's one plate. We're going to keep going here. We've got about 4 of these to do. They won't take long. We're going to simply just work our way through them, get some food off these things. You don't want the food on the old wedge. Because we want to be removing that old ledge soon. So we're trying to make a new bed for it to live on. We're kind of coaxing it off of its existing bed. Trying to get it off of this old wedge of agar and now onto the new plate. So if you get it on your old wedge, we're going to remove it. Now we don't want it more than about a centimeter away from this one. So we want to try to keep it within a certain range. That should be enough to coax it off. Let's look at the final one here. This one's already got some mold growing on. You can see here. This is fungus. And this is what I was worried about. So you can see we have some fungus growing here. Most of it's coming from this piece of oatmeal right here. So if we remove this, most likely the slime mold will come back and it will overtake the fungus. But if we would have allowed this piece of mold, grain and stuff to stay on here, there's a very good chance that the slime mold will just try to grow around it and marginalize itself. So by removing this, we can essentially try to save this plate. Now, that's not 100% effective, but it is. It's enough to try to rescue the thing. Doesn't work all the time. You just do your best. But these slime molds are pretty strong, especially against fungus. I mean, they eat mushrooms. They love eating mushrooms. They love eating fungus. So, but a lot of times the cellular growth rate can outgrow the slime mold. And in this case, this is a slower growing slime mold. So what we're going to actually do is I can still see some hyphae around here. So what we're going to actually do is I think we're just going to remove this wedge from this one altogether. There we go, just like that. We're just going to remove that wedge. You can see I'm just going to be behind the slime mold for right now. And we're not even going to put any food back on this plate. We're simply just going to leave it like that, let it spread out a little bit, and actually take it up and just see if we can let that slime mold kind of warm into plate a little bit, and we'll throw some more food back on there. That's it, we fed our slime mold. And now we're going to get to doing some plug spawn transfers. So, today, we're going to be making some plugs. And we've got different Messiah here. Lion's mane, chicken of the woods, shiitake. and we're going to be making plug spawn for these today. I'm going to be starting with, we'll start with chicken. A chicken of the woods Messiah is a very unusual looking Messiah. It almost has an orange tint to it. You can see more of it along here. It really does look kind of almost the color. It's one of the few Messiahs that actually get a tint of color like this. Pink oyster is another one. When it overdevelops inside of a bag, you'll get a very, very pink bag. Maybe not. But, oh yeah, here. Pink oyster can tend to get a hint of pink on it too, just like the chicken does. So we're going to spray this down and this bag opens up like this. Grab a couple paper towels. We clean everything really well. Clean the scissors really well. Grain transferring does not have to be a headache. This is a relatively easy process. You know, obviously, if you've got a flow hood, it's really easy because you're behind a clean airflow. But I think that even doing open air grain transfers can be easy. You really just need to calculate how much grain you need to overtake your substrate within the amount of time that you have before the competition does. And I think that the hard part now for a lot of people is they tend to do it. If you're doing open air transfers, you need to be mixing a good 30 to, you know, a good 20 to 30% of the total weight in grain spawn. So, you know, you've got, like the way I pretty much say it, in a 5-pound bag, you need at least a 1-pound bag, if not, you know, 1.5 pounds of grain spawn to do a bag in open air transfer. Now, like what we're doing here, we don't do open air transfer, so we can get away with using a lot less spawn per bag and, you know, sealing it inside the hood stream here. So we can get away with a lot less. We put about a teaspoon in each bag, just to give you a reference. So we're just going to chop this bag open right here. We're going to grab our trash can because we have any this. We've got our spawn cleaned up there. And that chicken of the woods spawn is kind of messy to work with. Chicken of the woods specifically has a tendency to really want to break down the grain, almost turn it into a mush. It's it kind of has a tendency to want to eat it away structurally, which not a lot of the soy does. A lot of times when you inoculate grain, it will tend to stay firm and still grain-like, and then the soy will go through it, you know, in between it. But the chicken of the woods, it seems to like really get down deep into the grain and just structurally want to turn it into mush a little bit more. So, or a little bit slimier anyway. It's a little harder to work with grain spawn. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be opening up these bags. Let me get my towel rehydrated a little bit. So you don't need to clean this whole bag. Now I clean the whole spawn bag because I'm going to be bringing that back and forth and working with that constantly. But right now I just need to clean the mouth of this bag, right? This top piece here that I'm going to cut into. And I keep my hands behind it at this point. Once this bag has been cut, I keep my hands to this side, keep them away from the mouth, and I do all my work using the gussets in the bag. See this? And now I'll just simply pour about a teaspoon in from the front. I'll kind of mix it around a little bit. And then we'll bring it right over here to our sealer, and we'll seal it up. I'm going to grab a bin to work with, so while I seal these, they fall into a bin, and that's the way I like to do it. Nice, bring the sealer a little bit more to the edge. There we are, let's clean up again. Dumb mistakes of getting in and out of the hood. Always gotta make sure to clean yourself though. If you exit the hood and you're touching something, it is important. Now, even though this process doesn't require 100% cleanliness, because you've got the flow hood, then the technique is to keep your hands away from the mouth anyway. So really, even if my hands are dirty right now, theoretically I should not be contaminating this bag. But it's always better to be clean. Now, I do not have the computer on the live stream today, maybe because the battery's dead on it. But I will put it back in tomorrow's live stream. I just forgot to charge it last night. So now we do a lot of Amazon FBA, you know, and this is one of our products that we sell via FBA through Amazon. So we produce quite a bit of plug spawn, and we grow them out in about batches of 40, and then we ship them over to Amazon and they sell. The reason we can do plug spawn this way, and we can't do grain spawn this way, is there's, once the Messiah gets into the wood, deep into the wood of the plugs, it's pretty safe. And it can actually withstand some pretty extreme temperatures like what you'd experience in an Amazon warehouse. However, grain spawn is a lot more fragile. And even if it does get deep into the grain, it's not really safe in cold or hot weather there. The grain doesn't protect it. So while you can sell plug spawn via FBA, you cannot store green spawn in the warehouses very reliably at Amazon. So I would not suggest trying. But you can't do plug spawn. I wouldn't say there's a great business in plug spawn right now, especially because the prices of plugs are going up, and it's a lot of manual work to inoculate all these, even if you've got a really good system like we do, where I can do 40 bags in 30 minutes, you know? It still takes a lot of time to produce as much as they want you to produce, and when you only make a few bucks a bag, or I think at the most we make about $10 on a bag ever. And that's before all the Amazon fees and all that crap. So it takes us a lot of work to plant these bags, so it's becoming less and less work, but we'll see. You know, the liquid culture business has always been good to us, but we've been trying to reach out into other things, into equipment and into plug spawn and grain spawn. So we're trying to take our cultures to different mediums for people already, so they're not just buying the liquid culture from us, but they can get plug spawn or grain already done, they don't have to do it themselves. And we're really more of a grower supply house than actual farmers ourselves. Although I have a lot of experience farming mushrooms. I've done many big grows myself, built a lot of facilities for other people to grow. As an eco-scientist, I mean, I think most of my job has been building artificial environments. Mushrooms just kind of fell into that. Look at that, I made a mistake and I side-poured some of it. That means it's time to clean up right here. Just take it out. That's why she can over. Try it again, keep going. It's good to always clean your hands once in a while in between things. I like to anyways, just to ensure that I'm doing the best job I can. Let's see here. We use actual small substrate bags for our plugs, and the reason we use those is because I found they're just the easiest to work with, and we already have them available. A lot of people use other bags. I don't think there's any difference in the bag personally. I just find this is convenient. Our process works with them. We're already used to getting grain in these, so it makes it easiest for us to do plugs in them as well. It's not as pretty, but we do sell these plugs pretty cheap, so it's hard to make a product really pretty when you're not making a lot off of it. We try, but the most important thing to us is that the culture is right, it's functional, that these people are getting what they pay for, and they're getting the results they expect. Now, I would love to have a much prettier product like this, because, you know, like on grain, I've been taking a lot of pride in making our grain a product, as opposed to something like I used to make for myself. But it's much harder to do the plug sponge. It's a much slimmer margin of profit on it, so we don't got a lot of room for fancy stuff with it. I'm really trying to get better prices on these plugs, and on bags. That's expensive right now. This recession's hitting everybody, and it's definitely hitting the hospital and medical field a lot. You know, everything from our syringes that we sell to everything has gone up. It's definitely forcing us to raise prices, but I don't want to. But it's leaving me with no choice here. You know, we're kind of stuck with. Right now, we're breaking even as a company, and that's not a good position to be in. So we're trying to find better ways to, cut the fat without raising prices, and that's been tough. And a lot of our competitors who sell the exact same products, sell them for 40% more than we do. So we are already one of the cheapest, best products out there. It's hard for us to maintain that. When I was in software architecture, we had a saying, and the saying was, it's a triangle. It's a trifecta of things coming together, and you have an option. You can pick 2 of 3 things. It can be fast, it can be scalable, or it can be cheap, but it can't be all 3. And that means, you can develop it quickly, and you can make it cheap, but then you can't make it scalable. You can develop cheap, make it scalable, but you won't deliver it quickly. That perfect triangle there is something that they use in agile development methodology. And it's a very, very true dilemma that you get in with development, and with all science in general, is that there's an amount of unknown costs you cannot account for, no matter how hard we try to write it all down on paper. The cost of discovery and invention is undeterminable at the beginning of a project. So what you generally do is you generally kind of a percentage of scope creep that you accept if the project goes over 20% 20% over what your estimate is, that's fine. But if it goes 30% over, then we have a problem, type of thing. And it goes both ways. It might be 30% under, you don't know. But it's still problematic if your numbers don't go up. Anyways, with our products, we try to do the same thing here, just like I did development. Is we try to, bring those three things together. Can we make it fast? Can we make it cheap? Can we make it best? Those things are all hard to balance. So we want a professional looking product that we can quickly, put together. And that doesn't cost us a lot, right? Doesn't every business? So you're constantly fighting to obtain some kind of balance between that. Between quality and the speed of delivery and how much it costs. The plug spot, I don't think we found that balance yet. I mean, both in the way we produce it and the cost of the materials right now, but we're getting there. I have found better deals more recently, and we're getting closer to where I want to be. But this is one of our newer products, and still kind of in the works. Product development is not a fast process either. It's another one of those almost pseudoscience art forms. You kind of have to have a multifaceted array of talents to be able to do product development to begin with. And even if you do have all those talents required, it's still hard to bring it all together into one cohesive unit. It's much like a great story. It's very difficult to bring together. It's real easy to create characters and to come up with a concept, but bring it all together is really a real gift for us. We're getting close to the end of this chicken of the woods, and I've probably talked your ears off a lot here today. But, I thought maybe we cover a little bit more of the business side of what we do here with the fungi and what we generally do. So, I was a software engineer for 20 years, and systems and enterprise architect. And I did a lot of software development for major corporations, many of them which you know and use their products every day, and for the U.S. government. So I did a lot of programming over my 20 years, and I learned a lot about how large projects should come together, both resource and management wise. And that's really helped me a lot with the fungi. It's really helped me to systematically approach things that are really big to think of in one, setting. Sometimes too large for one guy to handle, and allowed me to section it off and break it down into pieces, componentize it, much like I do with software. So here we go. Ginger plug's made for chicken of the woods. So chicken of the woods, wonderful mushroom. Extremely tough to grow in a laboratory environment. It's one of those mushrooms that really just like some very, very large amount of substrate. Unless you're willing to make like a 20-pound hardwood log, you're not going to have much luck getting chicken to actually fruit in a lab environment. Generally, when I tell people, if you want to grow chicken in the woods, find the widest, biggest, freshest log you can. Make it like 20 inches wide. I mean, not the normal 6-inch wide logs you use for shiitake. You need something big, like a freshly cut huge stump of hardwood, right? And if you've got that, then you can get chicken to grow reliably. It's not hard at all. You drill it and cover with these plugs, and man, you will have chicken growing in a couple seasons. But I think that the hard thing with chicken in the woods is it just has such a mass demand of substrate before it'll fruit. And the little 5 and 10 pound blocks just ain't enough for it to feel like it's ready to fruit. And I know there's guys that have done it indoors. I mean, I know there's ways to trick it into fruiting. But for the common, at-home grower, it's not much of an option unless you've got big stumps or really big branches of like live oak that have fallen recently. because it is definitely a mass mushroom, a mushroom that really requires a lot of cellular mass before it wants to create green bodies. So be warned, if you buy chicken in the woods, that that's an adventure. It can totally be done. I see guys do it all the time, but it definitely requires a large log type of strategy. Alright, here we go. Getting down to the last few bags here. So I like doing these live streams. It's been a challenge getting the technology set up, not because the technology is really challenging, but because all this production work takes time, and I'm already in the middle of a whole other show being produced. So I'm constantly involved in the editing and the production of that as well. And that show is kind of really interfering right now with my time schedule, but it will get better, for sure. I don't think they're going to want to listen to my bullshit forever. So, I don't know how many episodes I got in me of that new show anyway. But the new show will be pretty much about, each episode will be about a different obsession I have. Usually scientific, but oftentimes pseudo-scientific. So the first episode will be about shadow influencing the technology, and the second episode will be about my infatuation with fast cars. For those that don't know, I have a 800 horsepower Hellcat that I street race, or used to street race, we'll say. It's kind of hard to get away with doing it now because of the car. But I used to street race it more. I do now, and that will be the second episode. Will be about the car and about the path to getting the car. So stay tuned for those on the Life of Disdain YouTube channel, and I'm sure you'll see them shortly. There's already a couple of promo videos up there. But the main episode will be released here at the beginning of January, so the first episode. We'll see if the first episode is really the first episode, because there's been some talk about making a race car episode the first episode. So we'll see. Alright, we're at the end, folks. That's it. So in order to stay in good health, I have to take up a morning exercise routine. And I have decided that dancing on TikTok, crazy, right? It's going to be my morning exercise routine. So I don't know if anybody caught it this morning, but we have released some shorts of me trying to dance in the middle of the laboratory today. I think we did 3 takes on it. I haven't danced in 20 years, so don't be that judgmental. But this is going to be my morning exercise routine. Is making some kind of dance video every morning for TikTok and Instagram. So yesterday, Julian's the lead mycologist here, and my 22-year-old son, we released, both of us released a video of us dancing to the Wednesday Addams song from the new show on Wednesday. And that got some great responses, and we really enjoy your guys' likes and your feedback and your comments, so thanks for all that. And we hope to be doing more of these trend-type dance videos, or at least our best attempt at that. Like I said, don't be too judgmental. We're a couple scientists, and we just like having fun, and I need some exercise, so we decided spending 20 minutes making dance videos is going to be our way to get that exercise in the morning. Alright, so we got our first batch of bugs done here. You can see, nice and done up. So, check our seals, make sure all of our seals are good. Looks good. We're just going to toss these right in here. Yeah. Alright, there we go, like that. So now, I'm going to go over to our computers here. So I'm going to show you guys the software that I developed that's not pretty software, but that runs our mycology laboratory here. This is it. This is our micromanager software. And you can see, I wrote this software in visualstudio.net in C#. And this is how we, like, you know, maintain all of our culture, what our needs are. This is a list of essentially all the cultures, the jars that we have both in cold and incubation, in cold storage and incubation. And this is where also we print like our custom labels. So like right now, I'm making chicken of the woods, and I made 40 of them. So we're going to print off 40 labels for chicken of the woods. There we are. And these are for the spawn bags that I just made. So I'm not going to sit there and label them all for you guys on the video because I think that would be rather boring. It's already probably boring enough watching me do this, but I will leave those there, and I just wanted to show you. So you see those are also in our spawn bags, those labels, and it automatically puts the date that they're produced and all that stuff on these little labels. So here, I'll get you guys a little closer to that so you can see. So that is how we maintain all of our cultural samples here at Liquid Fungi. This is Julian. He's getting ready to go home for break right now. So if you did not see Julian's video yesterday, it was really good. So his dance video is probably way better than mine. I think it was better than mine. And be sure to check out his channel. He's at Baymaz9465. I believe it's Baymaz9465. 9645. I don't know, but you'll see it in the comments here of this video. I'll put it in the comments. So let's go out here and check this out. What do we got going here? So this is our liquid culture storage area. And you can see there is quite a bit of liquid culture being stored here. And that's the cold storage area. You can see we keep that at just above freezing. We also have our grain spawn storage area here. As you can see, this is where we store all of our grain spawn and our petri dishes. Also, sclerotia is now being stored down there. So we have for our slime mold, so we have a lot of different stuff. You can see I even have some fruiting blocks here that are like ready to go for testing. I just haven't thrown them into the grow room yet. So a lot of different things going on here. Let's see, Julian's workstation is a mess. All right, so that's it for my chicken of the woods transfer. I'm probably going to save the rest of those, and the best way to save this kind of spawn is just to simply do this. There we go, saved. All right. Well, that's it, folks. I am going to lunch with Julian. We're going to go eat some food. Thanks a lot for watching. And catch you guys next time. Matt from LiquidFungi.com, Life of Disdain, Exotic Life Labs, My Little Friend's Pet Shop, all these different businesses. I do all this crap. Check all this out. Later.